Hey, well, good morning, everyone. Vega here for Serpent Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine and Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice, coffee, energy drink, tea, whatever it might be, or some water as we go over some crypto news. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out, whatever, all that good stuff. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Hope you're having a good one. Currently watching the Bahrain Grand Prix. Formula One is back in action. So, like to enjoy that. A lot of crypto firms on these cars, right? Remember, FTX was a big title sponsor of Mercedes. Obviously, they are gone when that shenanigans happened. They're no longer on the car. But, you know, there's other ones out there, Tezos, so on and so forth. But crypto, there's a lot of green, a lot of deep greens right now. We got Shiba Inu up 42%. If you look at the top right here, 42%, 0.00002. Some people who got in mad early are ahead. I think they were ahead already, but even further ahead. Bitcoin Cash, which I don't care for. What else? Gala, which I'm mad at myself because I got rid of it right before it pumped because it was pissing me off, especially after it went to V2 with EOS. Wow, EOS. Jeez Louise. Luna Classic. Floki also pumping. Like, what the heck, man? So if you guys want, like I said this before, if you want the market to pump, all I got to do is sell. So you tell me what coin to sell. If I have it, I sell it. You guys can enjoy the pump. Because every time I sell something, it pumps. Every time. It's like, damn it, man. For example, had to use some Ethereum to pay for hardware that I couldn't afford to get, and as soon as I did, Ethereum gets over 3K, and now we're at 3,400. It's just like I can't seem to get ahead. But it's been a rough week for me personally. Just FYI, we got a little bit of some Bitcoin news for you. We're gonna talk about the charts. Bitcoin hitting, it's basically 63K. Top cryptocurrencies, blah, 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 Bitcoin. Could there be a pullback? Shiba Inu pumping, Dogecoin pumping. Coinbase sees massive $1 billion withdrawal, right? As people continue to remove their Bitcoin from exchanges. An opinion piece here, the catch-22 of crypto regulation. Binance gets fined $10 billion by Nigeria. And then this opinion piece talking about forget Bitcoin and Ethereum, come buy this coin instead. We'll talk more about that. Energy U.S. Energy Survey data, right? The one that's been called back or confirmed, dead. Any data that was already collected from those firms are to be destroyed. And Bitcoin mining stocks taking a hit as Bitcoin mining firms also taking a hit despite the increased price action from Bitcoin. So that's what I got going on for you today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Thank you so much for your support. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And yeah, let's get right into it. First, personal update. I have a lot of content scheduled for you. And thank you, Crypto Mikhail, and all of you guys for coming and hanging out. I got a lot of, as always, I always schedule content ahead because of my 9 to 5, my normal life and stuff like that. I may not be here the following week, even though content will be coming out on a regular basis. My sister passed away, and it was quite, it was unexpected, but not unexpected. There's no personal details that I'm willing to share. It just sucks. The family took a hit, so I need to go be there with the family and spend some times with them. So, but dad's okay, mom's okay. Just sucks. So, anyways, on a more brighter news, the best thing I can do to honor my sister is to continue moving forward, continue progressing in life, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Continue to live my life, and I wish you nothing but the best and success in yours. Continue living your life for your lost ones, friends, family, or otherwise. So, if you look back here, and we get rid of this little pop-up here, October 1st, or October 2020, November, December, January, February, March, okay? If we look at 2020, which a lot of people are drawing similarities to, there were 6 monthly green candles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we had a red one in April. Now, we could repeat that because we already are at 6. For example, September 2023 was our first green month. Then October, November, December, January, which kind of was like a mixed bag, right? Now February, and now we're getting into March. This March candle that we're looking at could turn red because we already are at 6. If we were to have 7 monthly green candles, that would be a new record for Bitcoin, because I don't think we ever had 6 monthly candles back to back. Like, the most has ever been 6, and that was in 2020. So we could turn March into a red one. And if we did have a green month from March and turn April into a red one because of the halving, that would be new for Bitcoin. So while I am bullish, and I released a video like asking you all, are you selling? Right? Bitcoin's hitting new, not records. It's not a new all-time high, but Bitcoin shouldn't be doing this if we're looking at past trends and past indicators. Every time before the halving, we dip down, stagger sideways, and then go up to run to the new all-time highs. You know, a lot of people are calling for new all-time highs now before the halving even has taken place. And I'm still expecting some sort of retracement, some sort of pullback. Not that I'm bearish. I'm okay. It's just, you know, going straight up like this is not sustainable. It's not a good thing, because usually the impact, right? The fall from grace, the no matter how high you get, the fall always hurts just that much more when you bottom out. Not that we could see us going all the way down to 32K or anything like that. I still have some price targets in, but the 62K range, you can see, right? We hit it multiple times back here in November 2021, October 2021, again in April 2021, and March 2021. It's just this 62 range, the 62K is just the new resistance, right? It's the new line of defense stopping Bitcoin from proceeding forward to 64, 65, 66. So we have to break past that. And you can see the volume. Look at the volume on the monthly candles here, right? Like in the 2020s, or the run up in the 2020s to 2021, the volume wasn't that much as it was compared to over here, right? In this range. And then look at how much less the volume is right now, right? Because you're not selling, I'm not selling. So the price continues to go up as the ETFs continue to gobble up the Bitcoin, right? So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out and how many people are going to get wrecked in the process. Because as many have said in the crypto realm, right? And I'm talking about the influencers, maybe some educators, but they say retail's not in. So retail's not in. What the hell is going on? This is all institution is what you're telling me? That's what they're saying. It's pretty much all institution, all ETF. So yeah, we'll have to see how things go. But this straight line, it's just almost a straight line up, guys. That's not sustainable. Like, there has to be some level of pullback, and it looks like there was, right? So now we're hitting this plateau. Will we chop sideways and then fall down? And if we did fall back down, you know, even though I don't have a line here, 52K, where we were sitting for the longest time, might be our new support area. 48, 46K might be the next support area. And then there's nothing but legacy trend lines or legacy lines after that. So I'm still expecting a pullback, but I'm still DCAing. I'm still dollar cost averaging. I'm still looking at, you know, obviously taking care of my bills, which I always recommend doing. Take care of your bills, your family, your whatever you need to do, your priorities. And if you got some extra cash on the side, you know, dollar cost average in. I understand everybody's looking for that moonshot, and it would be better to just, instead of putting money into Bitcoin, to put it into some meme coin that might have a chance that if it does 10x, it could change your life overnight. I understand why you would do that, but you might want to look at more stable, more secure, a cryptocurrency that has a better foundation underneath of it, and that's where your top cryptos come in. But anyways, moving on to the articles, as real quick as I say hello to Mike Newton, Automatic Beats, Crypto Mikkel, Baka Train 07, Neomorphous 1.0. Is that Gene Franciscos. Is that how I pronounce it correctly? Chris Hanley, Seb Chap, son of Rabbit Panda, Chromie 6. 3 mil. I hope you have 3 mil. Magic Lucky. Appreciate the condolences, guys. Thank you so much. And MC, what's up, buddy? Techman, how you doing? MH and Kyle Rosa, appreciate you. Bull trap, maybe. Yeah, that's true. It definitely could be a bull trap. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, the ETFs are continuing to rock and roll. But Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs around the world. Now, it hasn't hit the previous all-time high from back in the day, right? It's still not there yet. But it is definitely, you know, if we look at this candle right here, that was, let me screw in at the basic 69K, like right around 69K. Maybe not all exchanges hit 69K, but that's basically it. And we fell shy, about 6K shy of the all-time highs. So the article says hitting all-time highs around the world, but yeah, it's still shy of just that, which they do notate here in the article. I guess the title was just to bring you in, right? The US dollar DXY is ahead 10.7% since November 2021, meaning that many currencies across the world have lost value. Among the countries where Bitcoin has hit new highs in local terms are economic powerhouses like China, Japan, UK, and India, as well as developing markets like Argentina, Texas, Turkey, and Egypt. I didn't mean to say Texas. But yeah, Bitcoin has passed all-time highs in 30 plus countries, including China and India. U.S. growth has remained exceptionally strong compared to Europe, the UK, and Japan, which has supported the U.S. dollar. However, this is less clear going forward, as we've seen a series of weak consumption and housing data in the U.S. I see the DXY linked to crypto prices through the intermediary of rate channels. And we do have to see what happens in March, right, with the Fed. You know, are we going to continue to keep rates paused, which is what everybody's speculating? Is it priced in? You know, if there's some economic or black swan event that could happen, there's always something that could happen that brings, you know, crypto down along with the traditional stocks. But Bitcoin and crypto just have been on its own, really, separate from the traditional stock markets, right? If I looked at my Cash App or whatever, Robinhood or whatever, my stock performance versus my crypto performance are just two different things. And it's good to see, because I always said throughout most of last year and the previous years, I would like to see Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies decouple from the traditional markets. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or anything, please add me in the live chat or send a super chat, whichever you prefer. Do not send a super chat unless you have the money to do so. Please do not overextend yourself. Moving on, what is driving the Bitcoin surge? We talked about this many weeks. It's a number of factors, right? The ETFs, of course. You're not selling, I'm not selling. Some crypto influencers, like my homegirl Wendy, says retail is getting in because things are starting to pop off. And what she means by that is we're seeing an increase in viewership, right? Like, for example, 80% of people who watch my content are new people, not the OGs. And first off, thank you if you're new to the channel. And second, thank you to my OGs for the support throughout this continuous bear market that we've been in, now leading into the bull market. I wish everybody nothing but success. But we're seeing an increase in viewership. I don't have a TikTok. I got banned from TikTok somehow. Not sure if somebody compromised my account and was promoting some crap coin. But all I did was post one iPolo video, and that was it, and I got banned. I would like to create content in that arena, or shorts or whatever, but I just haven't got around to it because we're seeing an increased amount of people now getting interested back into crypto. Oh, wow, Bitcoin's doing this. Let me go see what's going on. What happened to that Doge I was holding? What happened to that Shiba that I was holding? And those are both pumping today, which we'll get into later on. But Bitcoin's on a tear because of the ETF funds. ETFs continue to gobble up Bitcoin while the supply continues to stay low. And again, you're not selling, I'm not selling. Who are they buying from? They're buying from whatever is available on the exchange, as well as the continuous or limited supply from miners that are selling, right? And obviously, as that continues to happen, and we have the halving, that's going to be even less supply available for these ETFs to gobble up. Then you're going to have retail coming into the space trying to get as much Bitcoin as possible as well. And yeah, that's just going to drive the price even further. We got a couple quotes here. Let's see. There's been a very successful launch for pretty much all these ETFs. Armor said, it's just crazy for 7 weeks on the market. When investors place their money in a Bitcoin ETF, the funds in turn purchase Bitcoin, increasing demand for the cryptocurrency and potentially causing a jump in the price. Sorry, hiccup or burps, and I don't want to burp in your ear. Since Bitcoin ETFs gain approval since they have gained approval on January 10th, the price of Bitcoin has skyrocketed. There has been significant trading volume, says Armor. Over roughly a week in the middle of February, the price of Bitcoin hovered tight around the 51K mark, 51, 52, some of that. And of course, broke past that and is now in the 62K, 61K range. The run-up to that we've seen over the past 4 days has been really explosive, says Stockton. Despite the breakneck pace of gains in the recent weeks, some analysts caution about past volatility of Bitcoin and the possibility of imminent price plateau, right? Which is, if we look at the chart, again, going back to the daily, it feels like we are. We're plateauing right now, right? We're chilling out. Can we chop sideways? Maybe have a little baby retracement down to 52, 50K, and then halving happens, fall a little bit more, and then pump up or start moving upwards in an upwards trajectory. In the immediate aftermath of the Bitcoin ETF approval, for instance, the price of Bitcoin dropped 15% after rebounding. Armor said over the past 5 years, he added, the Bitcoin has plummeted more than 40% on 4 separate occasions. Investors could expect it to either go up substantially or drop in half. Armor said anything can happen. Now, if we back up here and we look at a drop in half, right? So we're talking about the sustained move since the beginning of January. So let's go back here real quick. And let's actually switch over to the weekly. So basically, since October, we've been on this run up, but we'll do a drop in half from January. So half of this. So let's see, what is half of this? Let's start from here and go to here. So that's 65%. So let's say 32%. A 32% drop from where we are now would be, or put us in the price range of 42K. Is that possible? Yeah, I think some of these legacy trend lines will probably save us. And again, 52 is turning into major support. 48's a decent amount of support. And then you got 46, and then 42 is a major level of support as well. James Butterfield, head of research and digital asset management for CoinShares, acknowledged concerns about Bitcoin's rapid price ascent, but also pointed out various reasons for optimism. When you see the price move so dramatically higher, it always worries you a little bit. But like questioning, is it sustainable? Same thing I mentioned earlier. However, Butterfield notes that the price surge has coincided with the period of stubborn high interest rates, suggesting that the jump in demand owes little to the excess cash in search for the place of a place to land. It's not some crazy speculation, says Butterfield. There's genuine demand for this, and that's good. It's a genuine demand for Bitcoin. It's a genuine demand to have Bitcoin in their portfolio. They just didn't want to use the traditional means of managing the asset on their own. Now they have this ETF. They don't care about centralization. They don't care that the financial institution is the reason why Bitcoin was created, and it's meant for all people, you and I, to have control over our own financial future. They don't care about all that. They haven't read the white paper. They don't care about Satoshi. They just want exposure, right? They see this asset class just climbing up, and they just want to get more and more as much as possible, and they don't want to manage it. They don't want to be responsible for it. They just want, here's 1% of my portfolio, 5%, 10%. Here you go. Have at it. Give me my money. And then see that portfolio gain over time, because compared to the S&P, Bitcoin is destroying it. But we'll see how things shake out as we continue to move forward into the halving. Now, I mentioned this before, as we get later on into the stream where we talk about Bitcoin mining firms kind of having a tough time despite ETF rises or Bitcoin rises on ETF, is the halving is going to shake out some more farms, some more locations. And you might, if you're looking for an ASIC, unlike me, who had no choice but to buy one and spend crypto he didn't want to spend, you might be able to grab one for the low. right? So you're going to have a lot of, there's already been a lot of refreshing, right? Units that aren't as efficient at mining Bitcoin are being sold for more efficient units. So there's already a lot of the secondhand units out there that you can easily take control of and refresh and get it up and running for you at the low. But there's going to be even more, kind of like the GPU crash, right? After the Ethereum merge, the GPU prices crashed dramatically. A 3060 Ti that would have cost you $1,200 during the craziness is now costing you $200, $250, $300. It's going to be something like that, right? Where we see ASICs that cost $4 or $5 grand, they might go to $1,700, $1,800, $2 grand, somewhere in that range. So just if you need an ASIC and you don't want to spend that kind of money right now, you can't afford to, just hang tight. Especially if you need replacement parts, like we're going to need one here in the future, and you'll see why if you stay tuned to the channel. Just subscribe and hit the notification bell. Anyways, US dollar collapse. Bank of America issues shocking $1 trillion, $1 trillion every 100 days, warning amid huge Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, crypto boom, rival go, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the US is like super in debt. The U.S. national debt has skyrocketed in recent years, crossing the $34 trillion mark at the beginning of 2024 as COVID and lockdown stimulus measures. This doesn't end well. We could be seeing some kind of pain from that. We definitely need to get the national debt under control, and it's quite unfortunate. But Michael Harton here, chief of strategist of Bank of America, wrote in a note to his clients that the U.S. national debt is rising by $1 trillion every 100 days. Adding, it's little wonder debt debasement trades closing in on all-time highs, i.e. gold, right, which is at 2,077 an ounce, and Bitcoin is 67,000. And I don't know where he's getting that number, but long story short, with that debt and that amount of debt the U.S. has, you know, people, investors, retailer institutions are, you know, investing in gold or Bitcoin. I don't think I've seen too many gold bugs that are in Bitcoin, but there are a few out there that are bullish on both gold and Bitcoin. Matter of fact, if you look on the right-hand side, right below me, gold right now is at almost 2,100, sitting right now at 20,000, excuse me, 2,091. Jeez Louise. Crude is at 79.81 a barrel. Nasdaq 16,000. Russell 2,000, 2076. S&P 500 51. 37, and Dow 39. So, you know, these haven't seen, because these marginal increases haven't seen a dramatic improvement compared to crypto. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know, gold had a nice little pump this week as well. So did silver, rare metals, stuff like that. But they're not like Bitcoin. Now, this is an opinion piece. One top cryptocurrency to buy before it soars 700 and 2,900%, according to certain Wall Street analysts. And I already know what coin they're talking about. They're talking about Bitcoin, right? They're talking about accumulating Bitcoin. That's the whole point of this article, talking about how ETFs has increased demand, what's going to happen, the halving event, what happened after each halving event. For example, on this little chart here, it has halving event, the date, which I'm going to give you, and Bitcoin return 2 years later. When the Bitcoin halving event happened in November 2022 or 2012, Bitcoin's price jumped 3,000% almost, or 29.64%. When it happened again in July 2016, it jumped 922%. And then again in May 2020, during the world lockdown situation, it jumped almost 350%. Now, the jumps for Bitcoin isn't going to be as drastic as it was, right? We're not going to see a 3,000% jump anymore. We might not even see 1,000%. A 300% over 2 years is still doable. I just don't think the jumps are going to be as drastic as people say. But we have a number of individuals, right, that go on TV and whatever, that are calling for crazy prices. Some I don't agree with, and some I kind of concede. Like Anthony Scaramucci, founder of Skybridge Capital, recently told in a podcast, Scott Melker, that Bitcoin could hit $240,000 within 18 months after the, of course, halving event in April. Scaramucci also said that Bitcoin could eventually achieve half the market capitalization of gold, bringing its per coin value to roughly $400,000. This implies a 700% upside from the current price of $50K. Now, obviously, it's at 62. Now, let's say, for example, let's go do, just to play around a little bit. Let's go do a little bit of math. Let's say one Bitcoin we know is 6182 right now at this very second time of filming, and let's say we only got $1,000 that we could throw on it. So that's 0.016 Bitcoin. Then let's say Scaramucci is somewhat right. It may not hit that 240,000, but let's say that Bitcoin hits 150,000. You just turned that $1,000 into $2,400. So I can see why the moonbaggers and the laser eyes aren't as enticed by Bitcoin, because the gains aren't as great as one looking for a meme token or whatever. But the risk is just so much greater. Now, let's say Bitcoin, for example, hits, let's say 5-6 years down the road, we could see it near the 400K mark. So we times 400K. And now that $1,000 becomes $6,400. It's still, not as enticing as some of the lesser altcoins, but I would just urge caution, guys. I understand going for these moonshots and moon bags. I spec'd mine. I played a game just as much. You'll see a video coming up in the future where I did play that game and what the results would have been if I would have bought it at a certain date and sold at a certain date. You just have to stay tuned for that. But the foundation is there. Bitcoin is solid. No government can control it. Short of the entire internet across the entire world being shut down or no electricity, there's no way to stop Bitcoin. Like, there's no way to control it. There's no way to stop Bitcoin. So the meme tokens that are on centralized servers are controlled by a dev that might have a shady history. It's just too much of a risk for me. I'm not going to be doing that. And this article is just telling people that, they should be looking at Bitcoin before it, does 700% and the 3,000%. I don't think it's going to hit 3,000%. 700% seems very unlikely. I think the gains are going to be very minimal. Moving on, Bitcoin on the verge of violent move after surge towards the records. Now, this is what I was talking about. As you guys are just talking to each other right now, it's probably a massive long shot, but I'm hoping for 0.5 cents, 0.7 cents. What coin are you talking about? Let's see here. Okay, you guys are talking about something different. All right, I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling. Again, if you need me, send a super chat or at me. Gala gonna moon. You know what? I wish I would have hung on to my Gala, but after the V2, and it wasn't doing anything, I sold it, and of course it pumps. Like every coin I sell, Floki pumps, Gala pumps, Ethereum pumps. It's like, ugh. I could have used that. I could really use that right now to pay bills and get ahead on debt, but every single time. But yeah, so this Bloomberg article, I'm not paying for it. It's warning of the same thing that I'm talking about, which is be careful. Like, we're getting really overextended. Control, temper expectations, caution, right? Don't be like the average retailer that just sees an all-time high and FOMOs into it. If anything, while it's not financial advice, dollar cost average, only if you can afford to do so once your bills and everything are paid. But I am expecting a pullback. Moving on to Dogecoin and some meme tokens. Dogecoin, bullish bets reached a record $1 billion. The token is up 40% over the past 24 hours. This was written on February 29th. We are now March 2nd. But traders are using prominent meme tokens such as Doge and Bonk as ecosystem bets for their respective blockchains, Ethereum and Solana. Doge futures set a record open interest of $1 billion, indicative of a strong interest in the token. Nearly 7% of these bets were on the long side. Traders are continuing to use these prominent meme tokens as ecosystem bets, right? Whether Ethereum or Dogecoin's gonna be good, or Ethereum's gonna be good, or Solana's gonna be good. And I talked about some of these assets before, right? Your Arbitrum, your Avalanche, your Optimism, your Solana, getting the native tokens for their respective ecosystem, because usually if those ecosystems do well, the native asset does well. I think BNB or Binance is just having a really hard time considering all the things that they're going through with fines, regulation, CZ being forced out. I just don't think BNB has as much to gain as some of the other tokens. But, looking at those, what I would consider ecosystem assets might be a better play than some of these meme tokens. But again, the gains aren't going to be as great as, you know, a Shiba Inu, a Doge, a Bonk, or whatever. Just for transparency, I do have Doge, Bonk, and Shiba. Just FYI, just letting you know. Anyways, data from CryptoQuant tracking Doge price action shows that the token's RSI, or Relative Strength Index, a measure of the rate of change of prices, has reached an overbought level, one that indicates a possible trend reversal. Matter of fact, let's go take a look at Doge real quick on the weekly. Doge USD. I like to compare it more against Doge BTC, but yeah, you can see. Oh, what? Do you see that? They got the dance in there. I didn't even know that was part of that. Cool. Anyways. All right, so we're looking at the weekly right now, right? And Doge hit, you know, Wendy says Doge to $1. You know, the all-time high previously was like 75 cents. We got a long ways to go for us to even get close to that 75 cents from where we are right now. It's basically a 430% move. Is it possible? Maybe, but we're definitely overbought and we're overstretched just for this little candle right here. Look at that volume to make this candle on the weekly. Let's switch over to the daily. Yeah, so the volume has picked up compared to previous times. That's interesting. Let's zoom in a little bit. I need to reset this thing. This thing is all jacked up. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 daily green candles. We're just now putting in a red. But unfortunately, if Bitcoin takes a hit, I could see most of these gains over the 5 days being wiped out. But yeah, Dogecoin sitting right around that, almost at that 14-cent mark. So we'll see how things pan out. Fundamentally, Dogecoin developers released Network's core version 1.14.7 on Tuesday. A minor release that amped up security, upgraded node operators. Other relatively recent technical improvements was the introduction of ordinals on the Dogecoin blockchain. So ordinals popped off on the Bitcoin side. Now we have ordinals on the Dogecoin side. So I do expect ordinals to kind of bring a little bit of traffic back in. And that probably could be, you know, why we're seeing an increase in volume on the Dogecoin network. But just something to keep an eye on as we move forward into the next phase of crypto. I really do believe this is going to be the next phase of cryptocurrency as it gets more notoriety, becomes more mainstream, and gets more mass adoption. I wouldn't say every person in the world is involved in crypto, but there's a good percentage that has been growing, and that's good for us in the long run. Shiba Inu explodes 65% daily. Dogecoin follows suit with a 20% surge. Is altcoin season here? Alt season. Rabbit season. Alt season. Rabbit season. Anyways, numerous reports emerged the past week or so suggesting that altcoins, which were outperformed by Bitcoin lately, could be on the verge of a price explosion, thus triggering the next alt season. This prediction has materialized over the past 24 hours, at least for some. Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink, Polygon, Litecoin, Ripple, and some of the examples seeing gains of 6 to 10% respectively. Bitcoin Cash don't care. Thus, the alternative coins have managed to reduce BTC's dominance over them. Matter of fact, let's go take a look at BTC's current market dominance. Let's see here. Right now, Bitcoin's dominance is 52%. Can I full screen this? Where's it at now? Yeah, it dropped down to 50%. Now it's at 52%, but it dropped down to 49, 50% earlier. Let's go back on the 7 days. Yeah, it's been kind of around 52, 53. It dropped down to 50 for a short term there, like February 25th. But nothing too crazy. So, you know, we're seeing a lot of green in the alts, which we would agree with that. Bitcoin's kind of plateauing right now, so the altcoins can catch up, and it looks pretty good. Oh, you guys were talking about Doge? Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, it's doing good. It's overbought right now. Shiba Inu is doing good. A number of other altcoins are doing good. Do you, come on, live chat right now. Let's go. Let's do a poll. Do you believe alt season is coming soon? two answers. Either yes or no. I'll do one more, because maybe you don't know. So I'll do not sure. So you got 3 choices. And I want to know from you, do you believe that alt season is coming? 59 concurrent viewers. Let's go, guys. Hit the like button. Share this out. Help me get some more traffic. I really appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. My name is Vega. I go by the name SerpentX Tech online, or SerpentX in games. So if you get pwned by SerpentX, I'm sorry. But we talk about crypto news every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As we continue to move forward, Coinbase sees a massive $1 billion Bitcoin withdrawal. That is quite a massive withdrawal. But chain analysis, or CoinGlass and Sentiment, validated this information. It was on March 1st during Asia trading hours, and involved a transaction of roughly 16,000 BTC. Woo! That's a lot of money. According to the data from Sentiment, Coinbase saw a significant drop in holdings, falling from approximately 398K to 381K. Wow. Arkham Intelligence further substantiated the activity, reporting detailing 2 transactions from Coinbase to an unidentified address. CoinGlass, another digital asset monitoring system, echoed the findings, confirming the departure of 16K BTC from the exchange. The substantial withdrawal comes at a time when Bitcoin has been experiencing considerable surge, trading well above the 60K range. Now, is that Binance that had a Coinbase address? Is that a giant whale or an institution that has a Coinbase address? Is that Coinbase itself maybe getting ready to, have to pay a fine to the SEC? I don't know. Any chain analysis out there that have that information, feel free to drop that sucker on Twitter. But that's a big amount of Bitcoin to be withdrawn. And that's good, because the less money on exchanges, the better off we are, right? When you see a large inflow of cryptocurrencies into these exchanges, that usually means they're going to sell. So when we're seeing large inflows of Ethereum, Bitcoin, or whatever altcoin, usually that means they're going to sell here shortly. We're having a large outflow. Maybe somebody wants to take control of their Bitcoin. They don't trust Coinbase. Maybe they know something about Coinbase that we don't, because we do have that SEC situation that we're going to talk about in just a moment. Speaking of the SEC, good old Gary Gensler. This article is an opinion piece by CoinDesk, and it references the catch-22 of crypto regulation. Thank you. Is that Marcelo Prats? Thank you very much. With one catch, filing the request implies the petitioner is sane and thus ineligible to be excused. In 2024 America, the SEC come in register approach is a catch-22 for crypto. As the Gary Gensler of the world, or the SEC chair Gary Gensler, often says that registering with the SEC to comply with security regulation is straightforward. It's just a form on our website. And crypto issuers and exchanges are just choosing not to do it, despite knowing how to do it. The SEC chair makes it sound like crypto firms have been unreasonable, if not unlawful, stubborn in filing the required registrations in the face of a welcoming SEC. This characterization hides a catch. It has not been as straightforward. It has not been as welcoming. And Gary Gensler is a liar. Not in all things. He's intelligent, but he's playing the game on the wrong side. Further, virtually no crypto tokens have been registered with the SEC so far. And that's the catch-22. Issuers won't register their crypto tokens before they can find registered exchanges and broker-dealers that can work with them. And registered exchanges and broker-dealers won't start working with crypto tokens until they see enough tokens registered to make the business model economically viable. So, catch-22, we're just going in circles. We're chasing our tail here. Additionally, we have another catch-22 in the present regulatory environment. Fintech can only survive in the U.S. with the active collaboration of banks, but federal regulators don't want banks to partner with fintech companies. So while Gary Gensler smiles and continues to kind of like push questions to the side, like whether or not Ethereum was a security during a conference or a deposition or whatever the heck you call it, until that regulation gets clarity, until the SEC and the financial institutions and regulators work with the crypto exchanges and companies and token providers and ecosystems, until that happens, we're going to continue to have this impasse, and why you have continued fighting. Speaking of fighting, Binance gets fined by Nigeria $10 billion or 8 billion pounds. It says Binance manipulated foreign exchange rates through currency speculation and rate fixing, which have seen the Naira, which is the local currency for the country, lose nearly 70% of its value in recent months. 2 Binance executives were arrested in Nigeria earlier this week. Binance has not responded to the BBC for comment. Nigeria is Africa's biggest economy and one of the world's biggest cryptocurrency markets. On Tuesday, Nigeria's central bank governor Olemi said Binance Nigeria had moved 26 billion worth of untraceable funds. These allegations are weighty, and they go on to say that's a huge sum, even more than the annual Nigeria diaspora remnants of 24 billion. So it's bad. It looks bad for you to move 26 billion and not know where it goes, or not having track. And the government must have done their homework, hence the allegations. So yeah, they had chain analysis go back and review, or chain analytics firms go back and review and see what the heck was going on. Crypto transactions equivalent to about 12% of Nigeria's total income and GDP took place in the year to June 2023, according to Reuters News. Cryptocurrencies are not illegal in Nigeria, but firms must register in order to operate there. And the government says a special advisor to Nigeria's president told the BBC that Binance has failed to do this. So they're not playing ball. Binance is just getting hit on all fronts. So I know they're getting hit in the Asian markets, in the US markets, in the EU markets, now in the Africa markets. We got another quote here. All of a sudden, the exchange rate went through the roof, and it's being caused by the people on the Binance platform. The government could not just fold its hands and allow this to continue. Thus, the huge fine. And we'll see if Binance can survive, because, I mean, it is the top cryptocurrency, right? It is the top cryptocurrency cryptocurrency exchange, excuse me, not the top cryptocurrency. Let's see here. Filters. Actually, let's just go to markets. Binance. We're not talking about Binance US. We're talking about Binance. Yeah, Binance is the largest one by far. You know, can it weather the storm? Can it continue to move through? It's also the top one in derivatives. Wow, Jupiter climbed up on the DEXs. Uniswap V2 came out with some pretty cool, or Uniswap V3 came out with some pretty cool stuff. Features, if you haven't checked that out. Lending, Venus. Okay, so derivatives and spot, Binance has a majority. And the next person down is miles away. Miles away. Damn. All right, moving on. Forget Bitcoin and Ethereum. This cryptocurrency is posed for an incredible run. There's an opinion piece written by Anders on February 28th. Now, basically, it talks about Polkadot being the next big thing. But I would urge caution. Now, I'm going to read a couple things, and I'm going to give you my piece about it, right? And good question, baby. I don't know how Gary is still in charge. I'm hoping the next presidential election, we could get rid of Gary Gensler. But here I got some highlighted key points that not every cryptocurrency has been invited to the party. Talking about the party where Bitcoin and Ethereum are seeing, nice gains, even if their growth prospects look at least as promising as Bitcoin and Ethereum. In particular, Polkadot seems undervalued and poised to break out in the market-bearing run, or beating run. Wow, market-bearing? Never mind. Anyways, the official blockchain network of Web3 Foundation isn't getting the market's respect it deserves. Now, that's an opinion of the writer, not me. Also, how the DOT blockchain makes money. Running transactions through Polkadot's proof-of-stake ecosystem generates a tiny fee for the validation nodes that process every transaction. This toll fee for traveling on the next-generation information superhighway serves as an incentive for helping the system work. In this way, increased use of Polkadot network directly translates to higher demand for DOT tokens since they are needed to pay for transaction fees. As the ecosystem grows and more value flows through Polkadot, the underlying DOT token becomes more valuable. The current reward rate for staking your Polkadot tends to be or around 17.3%. That's quite high. And in order to motivate more DOT owners to stake their tokens and take a more active role in the system, less than 53% of all DOT tokens are staked today, below the target of 60%. So the reward rate could change over time as the stake portion grows or shrinks. Staking also lets DOT holders participate in governance and influence the value of their holdings, further influence the value of their holdings. Plus, that's the raw reward rate for people running their own nodes on DOT network under ideal conditions. The rate would be lower if you chosen crypto trading services to keep a part of the staking revenue for itself. For example, Coinbase account currently earns 6.9% or earns 6.9% for staking DOT. And when we look at some of the gains here, right, DOT versus crypto gains over the past 52 weeks, it's not that substantial. It's a lot. It's 14% versus Ethereum's 92% versus Bitcoin's 127%. And the problem I have is in the past, and I talked about this, Polkadot continues to raise the bar as far as how much DOT you need to have in order to stake. And that really pisses me off. Because every time I would get close to it back in the day, they would raise the bar again and again and again and again. And I just couldn't keep up. I wasn't going to spend thousands of dollars just so I can have this crazy interest rate that they're promising. And I never saw 17%. That's again for, node operators that, participate and run their own nodes. Not the average person. But looking at the monthly chart of DOT, its previous all-time high was $56. So there's a decent margin, right? There's a decent margin for, if Polkadot can get to its previous all-time high, let's just say an even $55 or something close to $55, would be a 519% gain, right? And let's say right now, DOT, which I think is around $9 right now. I'm not sharing this information for you to buy, and I'm not saying you should buy this token, damn it. I'm just doing some math with you, okay? So let's say you got DOT, let's say $1,000 divided by $7 per DOT. That's 142 DOT. Is that really? Wow, that's not much. All right, that's not a lot for you to even stake. What is the minimum stake? Min stake amount for DOT. Let's go look that up real quick. 250 DOT. Although the minimum nomination intent is 250 DOT, it does not guarantee staking rewards. The nominated amount has to be greater than the minimum active nominations, which is a dynamic value that can be much greater than 250 DOT. And so right now, my DOT isn't earning anything. And I sold a small percentage of it because I needed to pay for bills. So I nominated my 16, but I can't earn anything because those nominations are not selected. That's validated. And the people that are selected have a large commission. What I mean by that is like 100% commission. Binance or some other place where like they're making most of the money. You're earning a small percentage, but they're making most of the money. So it's quite unfortunate. So you try to choose a nomination that has a smaller commission, but then they don't get nominated, so you don't earn anything. But let's say that 142 DOT, right? Now DOT goes back up to, let's say, $55. So that $1,000 turns into $7,857. That's actually not too far off of just getting into Bitcoin, to be honest. If Bitcoin did get to 150,000 or whatever, or the 400,000 mark. So there's still a long, long ways to go. But this article piece is saying that DOT is undervalued. I think it is undervalued, but I'm not going to go buy a bunch because they're just going to keep raising the bar on me, pushing me further and further away. Lastly, as we get ready for Red Panda Mining to go live here, I think he's going to go live in a few. Well, thank you, 54 viewers hanging out with me and dealing with my weirdness. So we got Red Panda coming up here at 12 p.m. Stay tuned for that. Just hang tight. The U.S. energy survey, right, that we talked about was axed. Right, so that survey that was sent out to mining firms by the Energy Information Administration, the EIA, was dropped, right? And according to a March 2nd filing, the U.S. Department of Energy, the Energy Information Administration, the Office of Management and Budget has settled with the TBC and Riot to stop gathering information from crypto miners for its proposed 3-year emergency survey filed under the EIA 862 emergency collection request. And this is what the document looked like. Okay. That's been axed. It further noted that all information previously collected by the crypto miner survey, which the TBC and Riot claimed was intrusive, will be deleted and any forthcoming data will be discarded. Defendants agreed that the EIA will destroy any information that is already received in response to the EIA 862 emergency survey. If the EIA receives additional information in response to the survey, EIA will destroy that data. On February 23rd, Cointelegraph reported that a court had temporarily suspended the survey, which was good to see. While the EIA estimated the survey would take around 30 minutes to complete, the court considered the estimation extremely inaccurate, talking about getting all the numbers, how many miners, the energy rate, the how they're powering their facility. All these questions were super intrusive, and it would take staff, right, to fill out these surveys, and because you got to make sure the survey is correct, right? Like reporting to the IRS, you don't want to be hiding stuff, because you hide stuff, you get fined, you get in trouble. So you want to be as transparent with the regulators, with the economic powers, with the politicians. Well, fuck the politicians. With the regulators of the space as much as possible to avoid any fines. For example, something as small as not registering with the EPA when you're an immersion mining facility can result in a huge fine. Just FYI. So you just gotta understand the local area, understand, have an open relationship with regulators and stuff. Let's close out this poll and make sure you're doing things by the book. So looking at the poll here, it looks like 63% of you believe that alt season is coming soon. 24% says no, and 12% says not sure. So alt season, we'll try to find a meme token, a meme image to post on Twitter. Anyways, oh, by the way, don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you're not already. It's linked in the thing, description, and on the webpage, or on the main control page, or whatever. It's somewhere. Anyways, Bitcoin mining stocks dipped more than 27% despite Bitcoin rally. February 27th, the largest largest Bitcoin miners, Marathon Digital Holdings, and Riot Platforms have fallen 18.5% and 21.9% respectively, according to Google Finance. CleanSpark also was among the hardest hit, falling 27.5%, and TerraWolf tanked 25.4%. On the other hand, Bitcoin skyrocketed from 51K to 63.7K. Gold prominent and crypto skeptic Peter Schiff was also among those to notice the trend on X, pondering whether Bitcoin mining stock drop was a sign of trouble ahead for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin mining stocks dropping would drop Bitcoin too? And I don't know. Things started to look frothy, said, so I bailed, Chris said. Chris said on X, he had invested in CleanSpark, but quickly changed his tune on miners as Bitcoin rose to 65K. Oh, good job. You lost out. The halving event, blah, blah, blah. We know what's going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. Both times turned out a great opportunity to acquire mining stocks at a discount. Blah, blah, blah. 3 to 4 months following the Bitcoin halving, scheduled to take place on April 20th. Which, by the way, I am interested in doing something during the halving. If I am available at that time, I'd like to catch up with Son of Attack, or if I can, and I don't know this is for sure, if I can do a live stream. Maybe we could do like a group live stream. I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of which, I also was invited back to the brewing company for another event every second Saturday of a month. I'm not sure if you are in the Jacksonville, Orange Park area, and would love to hang out with you. But stay tuned for updates about that as well. But yeah, anyways, high-cost miners may move offshore, remain stable, blah, blah, blah. Basically, mining stocks are taking a hit. Bitcoin miners struggling after ETF launch. It's just the mining firms themselves. We're not talking about Bitcoin mining like you and I, small scale, mid scale, and even like Mike from Bits Be Trippin' is doing fine. But maybe some of these larger operations that are listed on these exchanges or these public traded areas are not doing well. So don't cross the two, because they're fine. I mean, Marathon invested a significant amount into mining and manufacturing, and I'm sure some other firms have as well. So they can't be doing too bad. It's just their stocks are not doing that good. Let's go look up Riot real quick. Riot Platforms, NASDAQ. Wait, is that the game? Yeah, I think that's the game. I didn't mean Riot, that type of Riot. Where's it at? Where's Riot? Riot. Wait, is that the game or is that the real one? That's platforms. What is the Riot blockchain? It's not doing too bad. It's not doing too bad. Anyways, how are you guys doing? You guys doing okay as we get ready for Red Panda Miner to go live here in just a moment? It's probably going to log on and be like, I'm still asleep. Keep going. Any cryptocurrencies you want to take a look at? Let's look at the trending section. Let's go see what's trending. Pepe is up 300% in the past 30 days. Woo! I don't have any Pepe. You guys got any Pepe? I don't have any Pepe. Damn. It is a new all-time high for Pepe, though. Congrats. For those of you that got back here. Jeez Louise. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 3, 7, 6, 0, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 0, 3, 6. Let's say Pepe hits points. Oh, wait. I did that backwards. I think I'm doing this backwards again. 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, there we go. So that's 16 billion times Pepe at, what do we got right now? 1, 2, 3, 5 zeros. 4094. Woo! What did I divide that by? Wow, $1,000 would have been 70, almost 70 grand if you bought at the very beginning. Like back in, if you bought in April, like early April 17th, 2023, you spent $1,000 on Pepe. You missed the first all-time high, and you have it right now, and you sold that. You just turned $1,000 into 67K. And see, that's what attracts the Moon Boys, the D-Gens, the Fuddruckers. I don't even know. I just made up that word. I don't even know what Fuddruckers are. But yeah, I mean, that's what attracts people. Is getting a token that is, you know, percentages of a penny, and hoping that it moonbags. Like, see, look, Floki's curving around right now, and I sold, and it pumped. Let's look at them up. Yeah, I sold, and of course it pumped. Of course, every single time. The market volume is jumped up drastically. Let's look at the market volume. Where's the scroller? $340. Wow, man. So this thing was averaging like less than like 20,000 or less, 24-hour volume, and now it's like 348, 622, 1.43 billion. Like the whales or the auto traders. What I mean by auto traders is not the magazine where you go and buy a car, but the people that have this all automated trading between bridges and indexes and MEV or maximal extracted value, that type of stuff, that don't want to share, or just want to put everything behind a paywall. You know, they see new tokens start to pump, they hop onto it, the token pumps even further, Then the retail tries to find out, jump in, and then they dump the bags, and you're left holding it, or you're a lot less than where you were when you got in. Cat with hat. I did make a smart contract. I haven't deployed it. I was just playing around with a smart contract. I made a token dog with army. So it would be dog DWA. Dog with army. I just haven't deployed it. I was just trying to practice. I'm trying to learn new things and expand my knowledge, and I was just playing around. But if you're interested in that token, let me know. Arbitrum up 14%. I've been seeing this token, Jazz My Coin. Is that how you pronounce it? Jazz My Coin. What is Jazz My Coin? Cryptocurrency project, a Tokyo-based Internet of Things. Okay, so it's an IoT for the Jasmine Corporation, a system. The Internet of Things include mechanical and digital elements endowed with the identifier, the ability to transmit data. The IoT company Jasmine specializes in buying and selling data, and the Jasmine platform connects two categories: service providers with data users. And it was built to restore and protect the sovereignty of individual data by combining IoT technology with blockchain technology and giving users full control over their personal information. That's nice. The main goal of the project is to establish a secure environment on the platform where users can exchange their data in trustless manner between IoT devices, computers, cars, phones, and decentralized protocols. That's very interesting because everything's becoming IoT, right? You're getting over-the-air updates on your car, right? There's something similar to cell towers that are popping up that might transmit location data or something data. Like, IoT devices are very popular. I mean, hackers like to gather a bunch of IoT devices to make a botnet. So I think that's just going to continue to grow as we move forward. But the fact that they're allowing users to, control their personal data and choose when to share it with other IoT devices is pretty cool. They say here as well that Jasmine decentralizes the workflow with edge computing and storing data on IPFS. That's nice to see. The philosophy of the project is based on decentralization of data using decentralized model where data is securely protected and owned by the owner, and service providers get the opportunity to promote their services and business using data owned by the users. I looked at this token a while ago. I saw it on Coinbase. I just never really got into it. Let's look at the all-time. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It may be up recently, but if you look at the all-time, it's kind of like meh. Polygon over $1, Jupiter up over 60 cents again. Some people were telling me not to get Jupiter until it was below 50. Not sure if they did. Solana over 120. Cardano getting up over the 70s again. Hopefully it'll be like $1, $2, $3. Terra Classic still alive. I don't know how. Bonk up 118% over the past 30 days, or 100% over the past 7. Shiba 123% over the past 30. 108 over the past 7. And yeah, Red Panda, you live? Red Panda's live. All right, you guys go head over there. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, hit the like button. All members get airdrop. I heard. I'll play around with it. Yeah, it dumped pretty hard. But thank you so much for stopping by. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed and notification bell to stay up to date. So let's check out additional links in the description. Let's support the channel and what we do here. I'll catch you next one. Have a wonderful day. Keep living your life, guys. Don't stop.
You know quantum computers. You know blockchain. But do you know both together? Dynex was the first platform to create a neuromorphic supercomputing blockchain-based algorithm which solves real-world problems. And the best part? Anyone can post a job, whether a company from the Global 2000, a machine learning job, or fintech and pharmaceutical. And if you don't want to program it yourself, get an expert directly at the marketplace. Run the job and be impressed by the fast result.